mother city, it had to be Caral. It was now Caral's turn to be a sensation. The new mother city meant archaeologists could at last seek answers to their great question. Why had civilization begun?
We've eliminated some of these false starts and blind alleys. We say, okay, this is the point that wherever we look in the world where civilization develops, this happens, and this allows for everything else.
In the context of archaeology worldwide, it is of major significance. It allows us a new, independent laboratory. We can look here for all of those common questions that we ask of every civilization.
We have here a unique opportunity, historically a unique opportunity, to look at the start, to look at that transition. We have our missing link, if you will.
Ruth could now show the world what a society looked like at the very dawn of civilization. Her work revealed that at the heart of Caral were 6 pyramids, arranged around a massive central plaza. Alongside them, an amphitheater and temple, the religious heart of Caral. It contained a furnace which Ruth believes fired a flame that was meant to burn forever. In the center of the plaza were houses, some ornate, some simple. Dominating everything, the main pyramid, seat of the city's rulers, and the symbol that the people of Caral had left behind the primitive life and discovered civilization. This, then, is what modern society might have looked like at its very beginning. But why was the city here? Why did civilization start at Caral? And that's when the trouble started. It began when Jonathan Hass, the world's expert on the warfare theory, paid another visit. He was searching for evidence to back it up. The first thing he thought he might find were battlements.
I began walking and climbing all of the hillsides around Caral. And it finally dawned on me that there weren't any fortifications around these sites.
Meanwhile, Ruth and her team were searching Caral for weapons, for depictions of warfare, anything. But again, there was nothing.
We found no sign of the sort of weapons you see in later periods of history, like stone cudgels. I don't see any evidence of conflict. The city isn't walled. Its inhabitants did not feel under any threat of war. There are no weapons of war.
Haas was now extremely puzzled, so he widened his search. He headed to the valley's mouth, through which any invaders would have had to pass.
I was an approaching army. That's where I'd come. And that's where I should find defensive fortifications. There should be a wall going across it. There are easy places to put walls across all of these access routes.
But again, nothing.
There should be something to slow down the enemy, and in fact, there's nothing. There are no fortifications around any of these sites.
Jonathan Haas was now facing an uncomfortable truth. He had spent years pursuing the theory that warfare was the force that created civilization. And now, it was falling apart in front of him.
You seem to really have the beginnings of that complex society. And I'm able to look at it right at the start, and I look for the conflict, and I look for the warfare, and I look for the armies and the fortifications, and they're not there. They should be here, and they're not. And you have to change your whole mindset about the role of warfare in these societies. And so it's demolishing our warfare hypothesis. The warfare hypothesis just doesn't work.
The message of Caral was clear. Warfare had nothing to do with the creation of civilization, here at least. The whole quest to find out why civilization was formed would have to start again. The eyes of the world were now on Ruth. Everyone wanted to know what had been going on at Caral. If it wasn't warfare, what was it that brought these people to build their magnificent city? What emerged was that Caral was a society that knew how to have fun. Near the main temple, Ruth and her team found beautifully carved flutes made from the bones of condors.
The flutes were the first things we found that showed people working as specialized craftsmen in Caral.
But the people of Caral also enjoyed more worldly pleasures. Back in the laboratory, Ruth's team unearthed fragments of the fruit of something called the achiote plant. Even today, it's used by rainforest tribes as body paint and food coloring. But it has one other use: to enhance sexual performance. They also found the shells of a creature called the Megabalinus snail. These were used as ornaments for necklaces. And inside one of them, they spotted traces of a mysterious white powder. It was lime. The team also found seeds from the coca plant at Caral, and that meant drugs. The lime, when mixed with the coca, enhances the effects of the cocaine in the coca plant. It's a powerful stimulant.
There are indications that they used drugs, because we have found little containers in which there was some lime. We also found inhalers made out of bone.
The shamans or holy men among certain Amazon tribes use something similar even today. The effects are dramatic. During the trance, they believe they're possessed by animal spirits. Ruth believes this kind of thing could have been happening during festivals in Caral all those years ago.
It's probable that during the very frequent religious ceremonies in Caral, there would have been some hallucinatory drug present.
But these finds told Ruth even more about Caral. The plant, the snail, and even the flutes were a clue to the basis of the whole civilization. Because they had one other very special quality. They were entirely alien to the desert surrounding Caral. They came either from high in the Andes or the rainforest. And that was 200 miles away. All these goods had been brought to Caral from far away. But why? The mystery deepened further. Ruth's team found that Caral didn't just import its pleasures. It also brought in the most basic commodity of all, food.